I guess some people will call him Daddy Darris. Recently deceased Manhattan lawyer Maurice LeBeau, he left his two daughters up to $10 million each, but there's just a few strings attached. They get some extra cash if they get married. They get extra cash if they graduate from good schools. They get extra cash for getting a good job. In fact, 3 times their salary. So the more money they make, the more cash they get. They even get a bonus if they take care of the baby, unless that baby was out of wedlock. I love it, but let's find out what our attorneys think. We've got Erin Elrich with us. She's a trial attorney, and Heather Hansen from O'Brien and Ryan. All right, Heather, I'll start with you. I mean, listen, parenting from the grave is still his money, I guess.
It absolutely is still his money. They call these incentive trusts, Charles, and they're totally legal as long as it meets certain requirements. You can't make a kid get divorced. That's one thing you can't do. You can't make someone change their religion because we have the First Amendment. But something like this, where it's good stuff, it's good principles, there's absolutely no problem with it. And it's just, as you said, it's parenting from the grave.
I know, but Erin, I guess some people will say, come on, Pop, give him a break. You know, you're still judging your daughters. One is 17, one is older. You know, as they become women, they can't marry who they want. What if they did have a kid out of wedlock? You wouldn't want to take care of your grandkids. I mean, there's some criticism over this thing.
Of course there is, but the reality is he's using a very common estate tool. Testamentary trust, people with large sums of money to dispose of do it all the time. And let's not forget that these girls are still going to receive money when they turn 35. He's just offering them some incentives to get him to do what he wants them to do. And if they agree with that and if they're okay with it, they're...
The list that we had, and we only mentioned a partial part of this list, Erin,
Right.
There anything you got a problem with?
I don't have a problem with any of it.
You think it's all just cool stuff? What if one of them drops out of school and she doesn't graduate? You think she should be punished for that?
She's not going to be punished. She's just not going to receive any money early. She'll still receive the $10 million that she's going to inherit at 35. These are just early bonus incentives. If they do what he wants and if they agree with it, that's how they can get paid early.
I hear you, Heather. And of course, Heather, I guess you think this is good too, because these are all good things that all good girls should do anyway.
Listen, it's like the second golden rule. The one with the gold makes the rules. And this is truly an example of that, where a parent is giving an allowance from the grave. I think that, listen, hopefully these girls would choose to make these types of decisions anyway. And as Erin said, they're going to get the money when they turn 35. This is just a little incentive for them.
All right, guys. It's hard for me to believe. I mean, I know you guys have on your attorney hats, but come on now. I mean, some of those things, as a young lady, if you're 17 years old, don't you think, Heather, some of that's a little onerous, a little draconian?
Well, listen, I think ultimately these women are going to make their own decisions. If they ultimately want to date some real bad guy, I mean, one of the things, for example, is the man that they marry has to sign off and agree that he's not going to take any of their money. Well, you know, that's part of that is protective.
Sure.
If they want to marry someone who's unwilling to sign that, then they're going to take the chances and make their own money. It's one of the things I think parents with a lot of money face a problem where they have kids who just feel entitled. This is a way to sort of make sure that they are, you know, one of the things is if they make money of their own, they're paid 3 times as much. It's a way to motivate them to do something outside of what they'd be getting just automatically because they were born into wealth.
All right, ladies, let's leave it there. Two attorneys who believe that good girls should be good girls. All right, thank you very much.